Okay, today what we're going to do is we're going to seal the cover of our sketchbook using Mod Podge, and you're going to pick whatever one that you want. If you want it shiny on the outside, you'll pick glossy. If you want it matte, use the matte. That means that it's dull. It's not shiny. It's not going to be reflective. So I'm going to go with glossy, and I'm just going to pour myself about quarter size amount. That's all you need. Not very much at all. Okay, I'll turn it a little bit more so you can see it. And it's actually spreading out, but it was about a quarter size. I'm gonna put my brush into it, and the brushes that we use for glue have the wooden handles that are rounded. I also have some ones that have the yellow handles, but just make sure we're not using those for acrylic paint. Okay, so all I'm gonna do is just cover a nice thin coating in one direction. And the Mod Podge will seal the paper. It won't seal things like this eraser that's here. So don't worry about sealing that kind of stuff, but your paper is really the most important thing. And I'm just noticing if you used any of our water-based markers, like I did here, which actually I don't mind that this is bleeding a little bit. You might get some bleeding of the marker. So if you use water-based markers, it might bleed a little bit, but as you can see, I do use some Sharpie that's here. Sharpie doesn't bleed. So if you don't want things to bleed, don't use Sharpie. I use Sharpies to kind of bring out some of the details and markers to bring out some of the details that I couldn't see earlier. So just seal that. Mod Podge will seal wood. It'll seal any kind of plastic. So if you want to paint over those things, and I know it looks white right now, but when it dries, it'll dry clear. But what I'm just trying to do right now is just preserve it, because we will be using these sketchbooks to paint in, and you don't want to have just paper kind of unprotected, because then it's going to have some issues over the top of this. I use paint marker here, and the paint marker doesn't smudge either. So if you want to add some color and you don't want it to smudge, go ahead and try using the Sharpies or a permanent marker, another brand of permanent marker. So this flower may be really difficult to keep, but I'm going to try it. So I'm just going to kind of paint over the petals. Now, tissue paper will also bleed, so just be wary of that. I'm just going to dab this lightly. It's also going to firm this up too, so whatever shape I leave this in, it's going to stay that way. So make sure that you kind of play around with the petals before it dries, so that you have the opportunity to make it the way that you want. And that's all you need to do. Now, if your brush gets kind of yucky, mine's starting to turn green, you can go ahead and wash it. Make sure that you're using a palm size of hand soap. Put your brush at the palm of your hand, work it into the soap, get it nice into all the bristles like you were washing your hair. Then run it underneath the water in the palm of your hand with the soap. Rinse it all out, work your fingers through the bristles to get all that extra glue out, and then just leave it in the drying rack. And that's it. I'm going to let this dry, and I'm going to put on another coat. You can put on as many coats as you want. I would say 2 is probably best. And actually, that's probably the perfect amount. You probably don't need more than 2. Okay.